I'm out in the middle of nowhere with very inappropriate trainers on to announce the release of the MadHacker Field Watch, a watch I helped design. Let's get into it! This watch is an enthusiast's watch. Someone that appreciates the old days as well as the new days. I'm still fascinated with World War II watches, and I wanted to make a watch that could have been one of the Dirty Dozen in terms of looks, style, size. The watch needed to combine those 1940s aesthetics and modern technology like the movement. I knew that this watch had to be manual wind only. I want that human machine interaction that I've talked to you about so much. The watch needs to be fit for purpose in 2024, so it needed to have sapphire glass. I wanted to have a high beat movement, so a lovely smooth sweep. And of course, we had to have a screw down crown, and we needed 100 meters of water resistance, the bare minimum that any field watch should have. But this whole project could not have been done if it wasn't for the help of Tayyeb at Radcliffe Watches. We have been friends for quite some time, ever since I reviewed his prototype of his first watch, the Radcliffe Haxel. Since then, Radcliffe Watches have pretty much cemented themselves as a pretty well-established independent watch brand. Tayyeb is very passionate about bringing quality to his products. The watches are manufactured in China, and it has taken Tayyeb a long time finding the right suppliers and getting the quality he wants. So I knew there would be no problems in terms of QC and how good the product was going to actually look. This collaboration starts back almost a year ago when he said to me, MWC, you want to make a watch? And I said, yeah, all right. You serious? At that time, I had seen a watch on Instagram. It was a 1945 Omega, and it was a watch first made for civilians, but because Omega couldn't make their military watches quick enough, the US Army bought a boatload of these watches. So we've got a civilian watch that is also a military watch. That's just awesome, isn't it? What drew me to this watch as well was the dial. I knew that if I was going to design a field watch, it would definitely have railroad track minutes going along the outside, as that's a little nod to British military watches. But I loved the juxtaposition of the 9 and the 3 on the dial. It was quite commonplace back in the day. Nowadays it looks a little bit weird and mad watch collector. So the basis of the MadHacker Field Watch was this Omega, inspired by 1940s watchmaking using modern technology. So there you go, you now know why we came out with a MadHacker Field Watch. It's time to go to the studio and really check out the specifications. Yes, I can't believe it's here. Finally, today is the day I get to show you the MadHacker Field Watch with passion for purpose. Without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, here is the watch. 3, 2, 1, bosh! Look at it! A whole year in the making, and you'd be surprised how many changes and decision makings were taken to make what looks at first quite a simple watch. Yes, it's 316L steel. Bearing in mind this is just the prototype, so the finishing of the production models will be at a higher level. But just look at that crystal. Look how the dome has warped that dial. So gives you vintage vibes. And to me and Tayyeb, I think we successfully made something that looks like it's been picked from 1945 and placed in your hands. The whole vibe from the brushed steel, the slightly faux patina dial, and the NATO colour, it just gives this overall package that a watch enthusiast will love.
Well, a military watch enthusiast.
Obviously I'm biased, but I flipping love it. Quick spec check! Okay, the nitty gritty. So the case is 36mm in diameter. Yes, I know for some it's going to put you off, and that's fine. I wanted a traditional watch, and I wanted it in a traditional size. And let me tell you, you will be surprised how good it looks on an 8.5-inch wrist. Lug to lug is 44mm, and those lugs have been shaped and recurved to give that ultimate feel and look on the wrist. The thickness of this watch is just 10.5 5mm, and that includes the domed sapphire crystal. This is a lot to do with the movement choice and what we did to it. More on that in a minute. Anyway, the lug width is 18mm. The proportions of the case just suited that 18, and I know it's a nice even round number that most of you have aftermarket straps that come in 18mm. So yes, a domed sapphire crystal protecting the dial. We could have gone acrylic and saved money. We could have gone flat sapphire and saved money. But I wanted to have that vintage look with modern robustness. This is going to be a watch where you use the crown quite often, so I wanted the crown to be a decent size. It had to be very user-friendly and very grippy. For anyone that are Seiko fans will recognize the signature on that crown. That is a little nod to one of my favorite Seikos of all time, the 6105, the Willard. That was what was etched on their crowns, and I thought it would be a nice touch and a nod to one of my favorite brands. The crown is screw-in, and we have a screw-in case back, and it's here where you see the Radcliffe logo, all the important info like stainless steel, sapphire glass, water resistant 100 meters, and manual winding. I'm very proud to have such a thin watch that has 100 meters of water resistance. That was the minimum for me. I didn't want to compromise on that, but as you can see, the whole case and the crown and the case back is brushed. This is a tool watch.
Nothing blingy in sight.
Nothing to distract the owner from wanting to read the time. The only thing that's going to change in the production models in terms of the case will be drilled lugs to make it easier for you to change straps. The NATO style fabric strap we have is the perfect color that matches the dial. The hardware had to match the case, and I'm quite a fan of that ribbed style NATO. Looks very military. It was another reason why I wanted a thin watch so that it wouldn't look too high up when it was on a basic NATO. We got to look at the face.
Dial time.
And it's here where you can see that Omega reference inspiration. I wanted a matte black dial, a railroad track going along the outside, loomed plots at every hour, including numerals, and at the 3 and the 9 you can see that juxtaposition. I really like it. I chose the syringe handset, which is a little nod to Vertex and their M100. We went through a lot of stages, especially on the 12 o'clock marker. I wanted a little slit in the middle of it, so when someone is hacking the movement, i.e. stopping the seconds hand, they could stop it right at 12 o'clock in the middle of those two loomed triangles. There were talks about having the MadHacker logo below the hand stack and Radcliffe above it, and lots of other text as well, but it was Tyab that suggested we just had the MadHacker logo on the front and have Radcliffe on the back, and I really like the WR100 below that hand stack. There's nothing on the dial to show off. Everything is there for a purpose, and I absolutely love it. Some people may be a little bit put off by the slight faux patina on that loom. I do like the slightly aged look, but it's not too aged to pretend to be old. I think it works so well with the strap color. Overall, extremely happy how it turned out, and also I love how that dial looks as it's being warped by that domed crystal. That is cool. In terms of strength of loom, it's not bad. The handset stayed glowy for a bit longer. Remember, this is a prototype model. When the production comes, it will be glowier. Now, powering the MadHacker is a Miyota 9039, and it purrs away at 28,800 beats per hour. I wanted a high beat movement, a smooth sweep. Obviously, we can get that with a Solita, but we would have had to charge you a lot more for the watch, and I have never experienced or ever heard of a problem one of my fellow watch nerds have had with a Miyota 9039. We made a big change to this movement. I wanted this watch to be hand wind only,
Just like the good old days.
Sometimes I think we take these automatic watches for granted. Anyway, I know what a lot of you are saying. Isn't that Miyota an automatic? Yes, it is. Or was, because what we did is remove that rotor. It stops the movement from being able to self-wind, but it gives the watch two big benefits. In automatic watches, there is a fail-safe to not overwind a watch. Also, it means we could make the case a little bit thinner to keep well under that 11mm thickness. Anyway, operating this watch is very nice. You get a great purchase on the crown. No matter how big your fingers are, there is no date. You've got one position, set your time and be on your way.
Hello.
On my 6.5-inch wrist, and this for me looks awesome. It's one of those watches that feels like it wants to go outdoors, especially on the strap that you're gonna get. What I'm so excited about is the fact that these watches could be scattered all around the world and have their own adventures. I'm so excited about that. And if you do buy one of these and you go on an adventure, make sure you take the MadHacker and tag me in. Now, I know some of you might not be NATO fans, and it's at this point I wanted to show just how versatile this watch is. And I've got to say a huge thank you to House of Nori. Sakib, the owner, I've known ever since the channel started, and he has built a business on making beautifully crafted leather and fabric straps. And just look at what a transformation a change of strap can do to a watch. With this very supple tan leather, this watch can go to the office. And if you're not a fan of a NATO because there's so much fabric going on, House of Nori offers these elasticated one-piece straps, which get that NATO look without the clumsy clumpiness. But if you're looking for your next favorite watch strap supplier, House of Nori is the company to go to. Description is in the link below. So there you go. This is the MadHacker. This is the watch that I've been sitting on for almost a year. I think we've made something special, something that you're gonna use for a purpose and not be scared at any time of damaging the glass, damaging the movement, or flooding it with water. The benchmark for this watch was the Hamilton Khaki Field Mechanical, and apart from the power reserve, I think we beat it on all fronts. Now comes the price. But if you pre-order this today, it's gonna cost you £299. This will include a lovely 3-pouch canvas watch roll. We haven't decided on the colour yet, but it will be close to the strap colour. I wanted to give you something that you could use. Also with this watch, you get Radcliffe's policy of a 1-year warranty. This is a limited edition watch. You are going to be limited to the amount of days you can buy this. Yep, that's right. You've got 4 weeks. After then, you can't buy it no more. This watch is one of the best affordable field watches for 2024. And I think at £299, it's a great price. It'll take about 3 months before the production models are finished and sent out.
I seriously can't wait till then.
I want to see all these watches out in the wild. Check out the description below where the website is now live, and pre-order yourself a MadHacker. We can't do an MWC show without Mrs. MWC's first impressions. Here it is for the MadHacker. Well, you know I like military watches, so this is nice. At first I thought it said MadHacker. Definitely looks like a watch from the past. Also, with those funny numbers on the side, it reminds me of a wall clock. Yes! Pretty much smashed it there. No negativity whatsoever.
Phew!
Thank you so much for watching till the end. Remember, you've just got 4 weeks to buy this. Who knows how many will be out in the wild? Who knows who will pre-order these? But we're talking worldwide. If you want a bit more of the Mad Watch Collector, click the join button. If you want some merch, no, don't get merch. Get the MadHacker. Get down in that description below. Save your pennies. And if you've got a bit more time and you want a bit of fun, why don't you click the next one? Go on, click it. Click it. Oh, I love my new watch. Go get the MadHacker, but click it. Click this. Click it.